Okay, David, so can you tell me more about your role as co-chair of the Bury LGBTQI Plus Forum?
Yes, so what we wanted to do when we set up the charity is make sure that we've got representation. So both myself and Nikki Naylor, who's the other co-chair, wanted to have a joint kind of role to make sure that we were representing an array of people within the group, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
In terms of what we do as co-chairs, we strategically lead what we're doing within the LGBTQI plus forum.
Mm-hmm.
We also manage the finances. We make sure that we're viable as an organisation. We also make sure that we get grant funding in to do all the events that we do and all the initiatives that we do, things like hate crime awareness, that kind of thing. So we also chair our quarterly meetings with all the other forum members and anyone else who wants to come along to get a steer about what they want us to do as a charity and as an organisation. We kind of facilitate that. So there's quite a lot that goes on, but it's really rewarding and I love it. It's great. So meetings are a little bit like herding cats, but it's all good fun.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Thanks for that, David.
Yeah, sure.
And then can you share some of the key activities or projects that the forum has undertaken recently?
Okay, so we constantly have hate crime awareness events that go on throughout the year, making sure that we want to raise the profile of how people can report hate crimes through the various different means, either that through their hate crime reporting centres or through the police or online and so on. We also do a lot around culture and trying to increase the amount of LGBTQI arts within Bury because there's a lack of representation, and that's what we're all about. We've started the Loud Cabaret, which we were able to fund as part of the Dibby Theatre and the Met. It's a joint initiative that we're doing. We're on the third event I think Thursday the 27th. Tickets are still available if you want to know that. We also do things like book signing events. We had Matt Cain, who was an author, an LGBT author who was releasing his book. He came down, but it was all around, although we're doing these events, it's all underpinned by what we're trying to do around visibility, raising awareness of the issues that happen within the LGBT community, as well as trying to raise our profile as an organisation as being able to be consulted with to ensure that we're impacting on policy through things like Bury Council and through Greater Manchester Police and Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue. We want to make sure that our voice is heard. So that's the kind of things that we do as an organisation.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, David. And you kind of touched on this in the first question, but what are some of the biggest challenges the LGBTQI plus forum community faces in Bury, and how does the forum address these challenges?
So funding is always a challenge. We're always trying to find ways of fundraising to make sure that we can deliver these events that we're doing and deliver the outcomes that we want to achieve. But we're really lucky that we've got a lot of community buy-in. And we've got a lot of buy-in from our partners around things like Bury Council and Greater Manchester Police. They're really supportive of what we do. The other challenges that we've got is that there's still homophobia, there's still biophobia, transphobia that happens and still goes on. So we challenge that and fight that as much as we can. But we also want to reach out to as many people in the community and their allies as much as we can, and that sometimes is quite difficult because when you are short of funding, you don't always have that kind of marketing strategy or the marketing funding to do what you need to do, and you're reliant on things like Facebook, and maybe a lot of our members are not necessarily, or are people who within our community may not be engaging on those platforms because they may not be out, they might not, and that's one of the major challenges, I would say. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, David. And then can you highlight some of the significant contributions made by the volunteers at the forum?
Volunteers are everything, are absolutely everything, and we recently won or was awarded the King's Award for Voluntary Service, which was a phenomenal achievement for the volunteers involved. And what made me laugh about it was when we were going through that process, some of the volunteers didn't realise they were volunteers. They had to be reminded that you are doing all of this work for free, and you're doing it. You might be getting things out of it like attending events and being involved in different initiatives and so on. But you're volunteering. You are making that contribution. We've got people that come and sell merchandise for us at Bury Pride and other places. We've got people that help us with ticket sales through when we're organising the Rainbow Train at East Lancs Railway. All of these different things, we've got one of our members who's part of a line dancing troupe that comes down and makes sure that his group's part of any kind of events that we're doing where it's appropriate for them to be. So it's the volunteers are what steers it. It's what they do. It's they're integral to what we can achieve.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you very much, David. And then what has been the most rewarding part of your involvement with the Bury LGBTQI plus forum?
I just love it. I think what I get out of it, I love walking around the town and seeing what impact that we've made. You know, walking here today, the LGBTQI plus forum have always been involved in Bury Pride. Bury Pride is kind of what started it and where it began.
Yeah.
And to walk around the town after, we had the 7th Bury Pride last weekend, and you can still see the rainbow flags up in places like the Knowsley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got some rainbow balloons that are in ground up.
Yeah.
It's brilliant to see that, and it's that difference that's being made, and it's not just about seeing the flags. It's knowing that people are attending events that they feel they can just be themselves, and there's no pressure, and it's not about what community you're involved that you're within. It's around just enjoying it without that pressure. So the Rainbow Train was a prime example of that. We had a member of the forum who attends, and identified that there was just this real good mix and reflection of the community of Bury taking part in this event, enjoying the music, enjoying the atmosphere, getting on the train, going up to Rottenstall.
Yeah. And
nobody cared about what community you were from, whether you're gay, straight, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, you were there, or none of that mattered. Yeah. Because it was just a nice event, and that's the bit I love. That's the bit I really like to take away. It's kind of like it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. Yeah. So I hope that answered the question.
It did indeed, yeah. Like you say, it's a very inclusive group, but obviously having big events like that have really brought the community together across Bury, which is a fantastic initiative. So well done for co-hosting and organising that. It's really good. And then just finally, David, last question. How can people find out more, get involved or support the LGBTQI plus forum?
So we have our closed Facebook page. If you want to go on that, you can just search the LGBTQI plus forum, and you can join. There's some rules on there that you need to adhere to, obviously, but you can join that. There is the Bury Pride webpage. You can have a look at that. That directs you to the dedicated LGBTQI plus webpage itself. So there's information there, and there's all the contact details. If you don't want to necessarily be involved in the social media platforms, you can send me your email address, and I'll put you on a distribution list. And the distribution list is obviously is confidential, and you'll receive all the information and around all the events that we do. A newsletter from Greater Manchester Pride Network and Colliston being who pulls together all the events and sign resources available, so we share all of that. Yeah. So there's loads of ways to do it. The other way is contact the VCFA, and they'll direct you to the group as well. So
wonderful, fantastic. Thank you very much, David.
No problem, pleasure.